First, I would like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone in whom I learned this truth. Shalom to the brothers who pushing this gospel in truth and in sincerity to the four corners of the earth to wake up the elect and to the elect. Shalom. So as you can see on the screen here, it's an article from 2 months ago, basically dealing with the lab-grown meat. And I was thinking about this a couple days ago, and the elder, the Baltimore camp, brought it up at camp about food shortages. The food shortage that's basically happening here in America. And, the food shortage is basically going to go into the famine, which is prophecy. And we was talking about how, basically the famine is already here, right? It just ain't hit that all-time high right now. But it's here because you think about it, why are they making lab-grown meat to be sold in the U.S.? It don't make sense. If we had food in the United States, why do they have to make lab-grown meat? Like, I know this devil was wicked and he just a mad scientist, right? But I'm pretty sure it's always a how could you say it? Method to his madness. So I'm pretty sure he's just not going to come out of nowhere and just make it just because, right? So in this article, which is 2 months ago from Oliver Millman, Wednesday, 21st June 2023, and the heading is USDA allows lab-grown meat to be sold to U.S. consumers. All right. It said approved means U.S. becomes second country in the world after Singapore to allow sale of meat grown from animal cells. Lab-grown meat will be able to be sold to U.S. consumers for the first time, with the federal government granting permission for two separate businesses to offer their chicken products to people. Both, now we know that, they say two separate businesses, but we know if they approve for this meat to be sold in the United States, then it's going to be other stores and businesses that's going to be selling it as well under our noses without us knowing. It say both Upside Foods and Good Meat said on Wednesday they had been given permission by the U.S. Department of Agriculture to produce and sell chicken that has been grown from a cluster of sample animal cells in large metal vats. The approval means that the U.S. becomes just the second country in the world after Singapore to allow the sale of meat grown from animal cells, a breakthrough touted by the nascent industry as being better for both animals, which aren't harmed in the process, and the environment. And that makes no sense because during the ancient times, we made sacrifices to Yahweh, right? And those sacrifices are dealing with animals, sacrificing animals, right? It was a way we had to sacrifice animals to Yahweh for the forgiveness of sin. So there's nothing wrong with a animal being sacrificed or harmed in the process of eating. That's what they are here for, right? Of course, you have fruits as well, but meat is one of the things most humans eat. All right, so I'm going to get an account where it got real for a moment in Israel during the siege of, I believe his name was, during the siege of Jerusalem, which the king was Jeroam, Jeroam, if I'm saying that right, and the Armenian king, Abad, I believe, had sieged Jerusalem. All right, because he wanted to come for Elisha. All right, but we're gonna get the curse first that Yahweh said was going to come upon us if we didn't hearken to his law, statutes, and commandments. And Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. And we'll start at the 53rd verse. And this is ultimately dealing with future prophecy with Esau Edom, all right, who was going to come against us for going off against Yahweh. I believe that's in the 49th verse. Yeah, the Lord, I'll just read it for edification's sake. It says, this is Deuteronomy 28th chapter, and we'll jump back down to the 53rd verse starting. This is Deuteronomy 28th chapter, 49th verse. And it reads, the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. And it's talking about so-called white man, Esau Edom, say far from the end of the earth. And the end of the earth is over here in America. All right. Swift as the eagle flieth, whose flag represents the eagle. What nation represents the eagle? It's America. First it was Rome, the Romans. No, I think it was someone else before the Romans, but the Romans had the eagle as well, representing a nation. But in this day and time, it's for America. Now we're going to start at the Deuteronomy 28, chapter 53rd verse, because this is what's going to happen during that time, right? Times we living in that's basically going to come upon us very shortly. It reads, this is Deuteronomy 28, chapter 53rd verse, and it reads, and thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which the Lord thy power have given thee in the siege and in the straitness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee. All right. And 54th verse, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother and toward the wife of his bosom and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. So that guy that getting money right now, you know, dressing all flashy with a nice car, nice home, big house, you know, or a nice condo, ain't got no worries. He's going to be that delicate man that's going to be, whose eyes going to be evil toward his brother, right? And it was bros or over hoes type guy, you know, and then towards his wife, that type of guy, and his children as well. And he gonna leave them. And it says, 55th verse, so that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat. He gonna be stingy with the food that the meat that he got from his own children, his own kids, man. He's gonna eat them and gonna be stingy with them. That's horrible, because he have nothing left him in the siege and in the straightness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates. Because he's gonna be stressed out. Because everything that he has is gonna be gone. 56 verse, the tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. That's that woman that's just like the man that's, getting money in this society, where a woman can compass a man right now getting more money than a man, and getting that BBL with the big butt, thick thighs, right? The one that says she don't never catch a bus, never caught a bus, right? That's that the delicateness and tenderness of her, right? Her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter, and toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for want of all things secretly in the siege and straightness wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. Right? And this is what's going to happen because we didn't hearken to the law, statutes, commandments in that day, man, in that time of Jacob's trouble. Because in that time of Jacob's trouble, it says that this was, actually, let's just get it. It says that this will be a time like never before. Alas, Jeremiah, the 30th chapter, 7th verse, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And he is the 12 tribes of Israel, which are 144,000 out of those 12 tribes. So let's go over to 2 Kings in the 6th chapter, where it was a siege, an actual siege, right, during the time of the prophet Elisha. All right, so there was a Aramean king who came against Jerusalem during the time of the king of Jehoram. Trying to get a count where a woman was about to eat her kid. King Ben-Hadad, that's the Aramean king that set siege to Jerusalem in that time. All right, let's start at 26th verse. 2 Kings 6 chapter 26 verse, and it reads, and as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, help, my lord, O king. And he said, if the Lord do not help thee, whence shall I help thee? Out of the barn floor or out of the wine press? He basically saying, if the Lord can't help you, then I can't help you. And the king said unto her, what aileth thee? Like, what's wrong with you? And she answered, this woman said unto me, give thy son that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So we boiled my son and did eat him. And I said unto her on the next day, give thy son that we may eat him. And she hath hid her son. And it came to pass, when the king heard the words of the woman, that he rent his clothes, and he passed by upon the wall. And the people looked, and behold, he had sackcloth within upon his flesh. So that kind of vexed him, man. That this woman basically came to him saying that him and her and this other woman said, okay, since it's no, since we starving, we gonna eat your son, and then tomorrow we gonna eat my son. And when they ate her son, when they cooked her son and ate him, or him, Salakia, when they cooked her son and ate him, the woman, after she ate help, oh gosh, man, that shows you how crazy it's gonna be in that time, man. When they cooked her son and ate him, she hid her son from them. So she ran to the king to tell him about the situation. And that is crazy, man. And that was just a count in ancient times during a siege. Think about the times to come where they making lab grown meat in today's time, right? Burning all these farms, right? With the cows in them, right? How would it be then? How would it be like if it happened like that in that time? What you think is going to happen in these times with the famine, right? Like the elder said, it's not that much beef to eat out of these fast foods restaurants. It ain't that many cows around to be having this much beef in these restaurants, man. These fast food restaurants and these stores. It ain't that much beef, man. I had cows across the street from me, but it ain't too many cows for them to serve the whole state, you know? So we already in the famine. We already in the famine if they have to make lab grown meat. That's just something to think about, man. And the only way we gonna get out of it is through the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. The only way we're going to be saved is through Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And that's why we have to have faith. And having faith not even going to save you, because if you're not part of the elect, then, hey, you really just through. So we have to better pray to Yahweh that you part of the elect. Lord willing, I am. If not, then so be it. So that's all I really have on that. Just something to think about, man. Because I did think about it a couple days ago, even before the elder brought it up. So Lord willing, till next time, Shalom.